Hi guys! Today I'll show you how to make classic shepherd's pie, a simple, hearty, and tasty dish using ground meat, vegetables, and potatoes. Traditionally, ground lamb is used in shepherd's pie and beef in cottage pie. You can of course use any ground meat that you like in this recipe. If you're using lamb, it's about $2 per serving, and if you're using a less expensive ground meat, it'll be about $1.20 per serving. So it feeds a family on a budget. These are New Jersey prices, by the way. It'll probably be even less where you live. All the ingredients are right below the video in the description section. We'll need onion, garlic, butter, dried thyme. You can use fresh thyme if you have it. Fresh rosemary or dried. Tomato paste. All-purpose flour. Worcestershire sauce. Couple of carrots. Peas. You can use fresh or frozen. All I have is frozen here. Some chicken stock. An egg yolk for the potatoes. I'm using baking potatoes. These are russets. And the ground lamb. If you don't like lamb at all, you can substitute another ground meat. First, we'll prepare the potatoes. Just peel them. Cut them into big chunks. Put the potatoes into a big pot of water. Salt. Bring this up to a boil and cook until tender, 10 to 15 minutes. I cover the pot to bring it up to a boil, and then once it's at a boil, just remove the cover and cook until tender. The water's come to a boil. Give the potatoes a stir. On medium heat, cook the potatoes until tender. When I first put the potatoes in, I always set my timer for about 7-8 minutes. That's usually how long it takes for this to come up to a boil. While the potatoes are cooking, prepare the other ingredients. Garlic. Grate the garlic. We'll also grate the onion. Box grater's best. Really juicy onion, I'm crying. If your eyes are very sensitive to onions, you might want to use goggles. Peel the carrots. Cut the carrots into small dice. Chop up some fresh rosemary. Rosemary is very strong, so you don't want too much. And that's it for the prep. Potatoes are done. Before you drain the potatoes, save some of the liquid in a cup. We'll use that when mashing the potatoes. Now I can go ahead and drain the potatoes. Put the potatoes back in the pot. Stir them around a little so they get dry. Make sure to melt the butter. Use a ricer or a potato masher and mash the potatoes until smooth. This is a great masher because it's got lots of small holes. And it's got a nice handle, so it's easier to mash. Add salt, the butter, some black pepper too. Mix this up. Hot potatoes and butter smell so good. It's nice and smooth. You can add some of the cooking liquid. And just beat until fluffy. See how smooth it is. It's already fluffy. Taste and adjust the salt if you need to. It's pretty perfect. You don't need to do anything to it. We'll just take this off of the stove. Wait 2 minutes until it's not extremely hot, and then add the egg yolk. Just beat it in quickly and so it's nice and smooth. That looks perfect. We're gonna put this aside and then cook the meat. These potatoes are buttery yellow, smooth and fluffy. Heat up a skillet to cook the meat. Add olive oil. Add the onion and garlic. Cook until soft. Takes about 3-4 minutes. Now we can add the meat. Break it up. I'm going to add some salt, ground black pepper, and the thyme and rosemary. There should be no big lumps of meat, so you have to keep breaking it up. Keep stirring, break up the meat, and cook until golden brown. It should take about 10 minutes. Meat is golden. Now we can add the tomato paste. Mix that in and cook it for about a minute. Just want to lose the raw flavor of the tomato paste. That's good. Now we're going to add the flour. Mix that in. This will help thicken the sauce. Add the Worcestershire sauce and the chicken stock. Carrots. Cover and cook for 15 to 20 minutes until the carrots are tender and the sauce is nice and thick. Do stir the meat once in a while. This is about a minute before the carrots are cooked. The sauce is thick. It should be a little liquidy, but thick. So we don't want the meat to be dry. I always drain my peas because you don't want that extra water. So mix the peas in about a minute before the carrots are cooked. By the way, my daughter does not like peas, so she's going to pick all the peas out. So if you don't like peas, or if somebody in your family doesn't like peas, you don't have to use the peas, or you can just cook the peas separately and serve it on the side. She specifically said don't put peas in it, but the dish looks pretty with peas and carrots, and most people expect peas and carrots to be in a shepherd's pie, so that's why I added it. So just stir in the peas during the last minute. See, it's nice and thick, but still saucy. And just turn the heat off. My oven takes about 7 minutes to heat up, so 7 minutes before this was done, I turned on the oven. If you watch the time, you set timers, your cooking will be more efficient. You won't waste any time or leave the oven on longer than you have to, especially in the winter when heating costs go through the roof. I'm using a 2.5 quart casserole dish. You can also use a pie dish or really any other baking dish that'll fit the meat and potatoes. Butter the dish. The rest of the butter I'm just gonna cut up and we'll top the potatoes with it. Cut it into little cubes. Put the meat mixture into your dish. Even it out. With these potatoes, by the way, usually I add sour cream, and I was going to add it this time, but it really doesn't need it. They're so buttery and tasty that it's perfect just with the cooking water, butter, and egg yolk. Put the potatoes on top. And spread it out evenly. You want to make sure that the potatoes form a tight seal, so go all the way to the edge. Use a fork and just pull up the potatoes a little bit. And we're just going to dot some of the butter pieces on top. You don't need too much because there's plenty of fat in the lamb and butter in the potatoes already. This goes in the heated oven for 20 to 30 minutes until the top is golden brown. When it's done, the juices will bubble all around the sides, giving you a golden edge. Somebody already tried a bit from the end of the dish. It is best to let this rest for at least 10 minutes before serving, as it'll set up better. I hope you tried the satisfying dish and let me know how you like it. Subscribe and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.